One way is that the way that the hippocampus and the frontal lobe are processing information, it is called the Google effect, where the brain is processing the information in such a way that we understand better where to get the information rather than holding on to the information. And it's a different way of using information, right? Novel internet users, when it comes to reading, are, not surprisingly, find it much more difficult to sit in a sustained way to read a book. And the inability, not say that the difficulty in reading a book is translated over a number of different areas of our life. Being able to drive the car without the radio, being able to lay in bed and fall asleep without the television, being able to even just hang out into the evening without a lot of racket and noise going on around us, because we find ourselves stuck in thinking. And as we get engaged in thinking, then we become stressed. That's where the anxieties live. That's where fear lives. That's where anger lives, and thinking and mind. And what meditation practices do, and what meditative psychology does particularly, is to examine what are the processes of thinking, and to sort of hold thought and mind out in front of us as something that's tangible. It's not us per se. Yes, our personalities are wrapped up in thinking. Our personality is wrapped up in mind, right? But there's a deeper space. There's a deeper existence. There's a deeper state. There's the state of feeling. So there's the feeling mind, if you will, and then there's the thinking mind. Thinking is the world of the voice in the head and all the noise, the structures, the story. I like to say it's the story that we live in the head, right? But if you're in a still meditative state, or even a state, we can call it a meditative state, but it doesn't have to be somebody sitting in a yogic posture. A one-pointed state was what I had to call it, because when I was teaching in the Middle East, there was difficulty around the word meditation, because I was teaching in some pretty strict Muslim schools. And they, with all due respect, they didn't want any hint. The word meditation has connotations, just as the word God has connotations. So
Right.
meditation, that word, with the connotations of Buddhism or Hinduism or yoga, the Muslims, they say, we have our prayer, we have our, we do this prayer 5 times a day, we have our own belief systems. We don't need a white guy coming in and starting to teach our kids about meditation and Hinduism and Buddhism. Now, they weren't interested. So what I had to do was use the language. It's really just a one-pointed focus. And that actually opens it up to a wider understanding of what a meditative state is. And you can get it, like I was just doing the dishes before I came in the podcast. That's a meditative state.
Mhm.
Being just with the dishes, just focusing on it, right?
Right.
So it's a consideration.